Good afternoon, viewers at home. I welcome you to the page Writing Hearts with Ayomide Oladoye. I'm going to be your instructor, your teacher on this page. My name is Ayomide Oladoye. I'm a writer, I'm a poet, I'm a spoken word artist, I'm a social media manager, and it will be a very good pleasure for me to be your coach on this page. Now, this afternoon we are going to be looking at uh, a topic titled How to Write Poetry as a Beginner. Did you just discover poetry, or are you a lover of poetry and you would like to be a writer or a poet? So that is why you need to follow me on this page. Do well by subscribing to this channel and you'll be notified, and turn on the notification button, and then you'll be notified when I update a video. So now let's go to the first tip here. We have read a lot of poetry, read about poetry a lot. Before you can be good at a particular field, you need to be a scholar in that field, an avid scholar for that matter. You must be ready to read, you must be ready to practice. So as you join in your journey as a poet or as a writer, you have to read a lot of poetry. Why? So as to expose you to creativities of other poets and writers, and at the same time to help you in your writing process. Now, the next one is start small. You do not have to start big. You do not have to write a book in a day. No, you have to start little at a time. You can start with writing 100 words, 200 words, 300 words in a day. And by then you discover that the more you do it, the more you get uh, professional in this your field. So the next one is take the prayer of your first time or your first line. Oh, you're writing poetry for the first time. You want your audience to be so thrilled. You want them to get carried away by your first poem. No. As much as you are putting effort into writing, at the same time, you do not have to allow this prayer get to you too much. I am not saying you should not write well. Write well, and at the same time, you do not have to pressurize yourself on getting the first line of the first uh, poem right. Let me give you a practical example. I remembered in 2018 thereabouts, yes, I just started writing as a career then. And then I had a friend of mine who was also a writer, and he had written his own book. But at that time I wanted my book to be the best in the whole world. So I decided not to write. I decided not to take writing a book seriously. And by the time I was going to start, it wasn't as easy as I thought. And along the line, I regretted not having to have written that book then, because I ended up losing the inspiration. So you do not have to, you have to take the prayer of your first time or your first line of your poem or your first book, whatever. The next one is write from your heart. Make sure that whatever you're writing, you have a personal experience with it, because it helps to connect with your audience a lot. Uh, you cannot write what you do not have an experience on, and you expect your audience to connect solely with it. No, no. Even if you have to use your imagination, imaginations are birthed from our own personal images, personal experience. Now, the next uh, point I am going to have here is connect with other poets. By connecting with other poets is by reading books of other poets or books of other writers, by attending hangouts or seminars with other poets and writers. By this, you get you get exposed to some techniques or some areas in which you're not aware of, and then you have other writers and poets help you in your field. You can also, by doing this, you can also have your colleagues in this field. You can have them read your poems or your books or your write-ups, and then they can correct you. By then you are growing and you're getting more professional in your field. Now the next one here is embrace poetic techniques. Poetic techniques has to deal with the use of imaginations. You have to connect with your audience through imaginations, through imagery. Do not just write. Show your writers, your audience, show them what you want to pass across. Don't just write. The boy fell into the gutter. No, no, that's not poetic. You have to make use of personification, metaphors, alliteration, and some other poetry devices that we have. Then the next one is embrace poetic form with writing devices. I have mentioned that. Now I'm going to take all those tips that I've mentioned again so that you can recollect. Now, we have read a lot of poetry. Start small. You don't have to start big. Then take the prayer of your first time. Write from your heart. Be careful with your choice of words. Be very, very careful with your choice of words. The words you choose has to be associated with the theme you're writing on. Then the next one is write from your heart, connect with other poets, embrace poetry techniques. Poetry, I said poetry techniques has to do with rhymes, alliteration, meta, iambic parameter, uh, poet, poetry techniques, poetry devices like alliteration, personification, metaphor, and all of that. So please do not forget to follow this page and subscribe to this channel. Turn on the notification button as well. And then you can follow me on Facebook at Ayomide Oladoye, on Twitter and Instagram, the Ayomide Ola. And then so that you can get more of these tips that can help you as a writer. Till then, I still remain your personal person. Bye.